So, what happens when you mix the incredible raw power of nature with the precise power of our own language? Well, today we're going to find out. We're taking a trip to the Wimbachklamm Gorge, a journey not just through solid rock, but through the very words we use to bring a place like this to life.
A journey through time, revealing the raw, original power of nature. Wow, that's a pretty big statement, right? It definitely suggests this is way more than just a nice walk in the woods. So let's dig in and figure out what makes this place so incredibly special.
All right, first things first, where on earth even is this geological masterpiece?
Okay, so picture this. We're way down in the south of Germany, deep inside the Berchtesgaden National Park. Now, this whole area is just famous for its jaw-dropping alpine scenery. We're talking the iconic Watzmann Mountain, the stunning Königssee Lake. The Wimbachklamm is, without a doubt, one of the park's absolute crown jewels.
So, how did a place like this even come to be? Well, its story is a really, really long one. A story about immense time and the completely relentless power of water.
Before we dive any deeper, let's just get on the same page with a basic term, gorge. As you can see, it's a deep, narrow valley with a river running right through it. But it's not just some random erosion. This is what happens when a river cuts down into the rock faster than the walls around it can crumble away. And honestly, the Wimbachklamm is a textbook, picture-perfect example of this whole process.
This timeline, man, it really puts the sheer scale of it all into perspective, doesn't it? I mean, it starts thousands and thousands of years ago, with different layers of rock just being laid down. Then, for centuries, the Wimbach River just gets to work, slowly but surely carving its path. It wasn't until 1847 that someone finally built a path so people could see it. But the key thing to remember, this process isn't over. The gorge is still being shaped right now as we speak.
And this brings us to a word that just fits perfectly here: sculpted. See, the water isn't just blasting rock away, it's carving it with incredible precision over thousands of years. It's such a great way to think about it. The river is both this unstoppable force and this incredibly patient artist. Okay, so we know where it is and we know how it was made. Now for the fun part. Let's actually step onto that walkway and experience it for ourselves. This is how you explore the Wimbachklamm. You're not looking down on it from some faraway scenic viewpoint. No, you are on these incredible wooden paths built right up against the sheer rock walls with that water just rushing beneath your feet. You are literally standing inside the sculpture. And that feeling right there leads us to this really crucial word: immersive. It's not just a walk, it's a total experience that hits all of your senses at once. You are completely surrounded by the sight of these towering cliffs, the roar of the water, and you can even feel the cool mist on your skin. Now, you might be surprised to hear this, but the most intense part of the gorge is actually pretty short, just 200 meters. But you can't let that small number fool you. It's an unbelievably powerful stretch of land that concentrates all of that natural beauty and energy into one totally unforgettable walk. And a huge, huge part of this immersive feeling is the sound. Just listen in your head for a second. Notice the words we use to describe it. The water is cascading down the walls in these sheets, and at the same time, it's tumbling over the rocks in the stream bed below. These two sounds together, they create this constant, powerful, almost musical soundtrack for your journey. Now, while the gorge is incredible anytime it's open, there is one particular season when it really, truly comes alive with this just breathtaking force. So, what's the secret? When is it at its absolute best? Well, the answer lies in a powerful natural event that happens every single year and completely transforms the entire landscape. It all comes down to one thing: snowmelt. After a long, cold winter, all the snow that's been piling up high in the mountains starts to melt. And all of that water, well, it has to go somewhere. It all funnels right down into the very streams and rivers that feed into the gorge. And this is the result. All of that extra water turns those cascading streams into full-on roaring waterfalls. The sound gets amplified, the spray is just everywhere, and the entire experience becomes something you will absolutely never forget. Which, brings us full circle right back to that powerful word from the very beginning: raw. When you're there during the spring snowmelt, you are witnessing the raw, untamed power of nature in its most pure, original state. It is an absolutely unforgettable sight.
But hold on, the journey isn't over just because you've walked through the narrow canyon. There's one last, absolutely spectacular reveal waiting for you at the end.
So after being all cooped up between those steep, narrow walls, you emerge. The path just suddenly opens up and bam! You're standing in this wide, dramatic expanse of the Wimbach Valley, with the towering peaks of the Watsman and Hochkalter Mountains framing the whole scene. It's such an incredible contrast and just a breathtaking finale.
In the end, it's this combination, the sculpted rock, the roaring water, and that incredible final view that makes the Wimbachklamm so deeply special. It's a journey that really shows you the true power and the true artistry of the natural world. And all this kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. We've used words like sculpted, immersive, and raw to try and understand this place. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much does the language we use not just describe, but actually shape our experience of the natural world? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.